was an extreme behavioral experiment in which people were tamed like dogs. They kidnapped a woman and then drugged her into unconsciousness. They took the woman to a gloomy experimental base. Her limbs were all chained. No matter how she struggled, the woman was put on a dog collar and chained in a kennel. No matter how hard she used, she couldn't pull it, and the collar was very strong. She began to shout. She wondered if there was anyone else in the kennel, but no one answered her. The woman felt desperate. The next day, someone brought in a tub of dog food. She shouted desperately. She wanted to know what was going on. Before she could say anything, the person dismissed her outright. She then asked her how to go to the bathroom. The person pointed backwards, and that's where the toilet was. By the time she turned around, the person had disappeared. She picked up the dog food on the floor and smelled it. It smelled so bad. There was no way she could swallow such food, but she did not know that dog food would be her only food in the future. Soon on the third day, the mystery man pushed in another tub of dog food. He saw that the woman did not eat. As a punishment, he took away the dog food along with yesterday's dog food. Another day later, he again brought the dog food. The woman who had been hungry for 3 days finally couldn't resist. But this time, the mystery man put the dog food a long way away. She tried to reach for it with her hands, but it was always a little short. The collar around her neck was strangling her and she couldn't breathe. She had to stretch out to meet her long legs to reach the dog food easily. She hadn't eaten for 3 days, so she ate the dog food in the face. However, after she finished eating, her head was a little dizzy and she fell to the ground. It turned out that the dog food was put in the ecstasy. The mystery man began to use his foot to see the woman did not respond. Then he took her into a large bathhouse to the woman to rinse. The more she screamed, the swifter his movements. After rinsing off, he took the woman outside to the playground. She heard a warning coming from the radio.
Be good. Walk only.
But the woman just didn't listen and started running. At this point, the collar around her neck began to tighten, making her gasp for air. But she still tried her best to rush to the iron fence. She did not expect the high voltage electricity above. By the time she woke up again, she was back in the kennel. Just as she was confused, a man's voice came from the kennel. Curious, she stuck her head out to check and a man appeared at the other end. They started introducing each other. The woman's name was Lisa and the man's name was Adam. They were both tied up in here. At this point, the mystery man brought in more dog food. Lisa is already used to this place and began to eat a big mouthful, but Adam did not want to eat and spit into it. At this point, the mystery man was very angry. He rushed in with an electric baton. Lisa wanted to rescue Adam. He did not expect him to be stunned first. Adam also failed to escape the hit. When they both woke up, he found that they actually appeared next door. They start planning how to escape. The mystery man comes again to deliver dog food. Adam took the opportunity to rip him over, then knocked him out with the iron basin. She gets the key from him and manages to unlock the chains that bind them. Just as they are about to escape, Lisa knocks Adam unconscious and calls all the mystery men over. What is this all about? This is a mysterious experimental base. The experiment is to treat people like dogs and then research on human instincts. Lisa knocked out Adam because she was the one responsible for designing the experiment. In order to get more realistic data, Lisa personally as the experimental subjects. The experiment also has 2 assistants. A man named George, a woman named Anna is Lisa's friend. They captured a lot of people as test subjects. Adam is one of them. Lisa had Anna lock him up to continue to complete the experiment. Adam woke up and he found that he was still trapped. He had gotten the key to unlock the chains. Lisa tells her that you are hallucinating from eating too much dog food. Naive Adam believed it. Little did he know that everything was under the control of the woman in front of him. That day, they were brought out, came in front of the wire mesh. Adam touched with his hand. He was surprised to find that this time there was no electricity. Once again, he had the idea to escape. They went over the fence and ran out quickly, but he had not gone out 10 meters. The collar around his neck began to tighten. Lisa fell to the ground in pain, but Adam didn't give up on Lisa. He tried his best to grab her hand. Immediately after they passed out, when he woke up, Adam was strapped to a stretcher. The mystery man gave him a shot of potion. Adam writhed in pain on it and then passed out. Lisa was also tied up. The mystery man was none other than George. He gave Lisa a shot of the potion as well. She then hallucinates falling in love with Adam in her dreams. However, all this is seen by Anna on the surveillance. She felt bad. This was beyond the scope of the experiment. She asks George to release Lisa and they start a fight about it. George finally shows his true colors. He gives Anna a shot of anesthetic when she is not looking. Naive Anna doesn't realize that the experiment was just an excuse. When she wakes up, she also has a collar around her neck. Adam was also tied to the opposite side of her. Seeing such a situation, Anna spilled the beans on the experiment. After learning the truth, Adam was very angry. He tried to rescue Lisa, not expecting to be played by her. Lisa saw all this on the monitor and became furious. The purpose of her experiment was to develop a relationship with Adam so that he could become her boyfriend. Now, all is said and done by a friend. The relationship that he had built with Adam was now ruined. She hates her friend very much. At this time, George is unusually happy. It turned out that he had a crush on Lisa for many years. He pushed Lisa into another kennel where 200 men were tied up. The shocking thing is that they're all Lisa's ex-boyfriends. It turns out that George, in order to get Lisa's love, will have previously hurt a man, all tied up as a dog tame. He got down on one knee in front of more than 200 ex-boyfriends and expressed his love to Lisa, but she said to George instead,
"I thought you were gay."
This has completely enraged him. He thinks it was all caused by Adam. Since Lisa met Adam was completely obsessed with him. George pushed Lisa to the surveillance room. They were all tied up in here. George is blackmailing them with their lives, and one must be chosen to go to hell. On the left is her best friend, and on the right is Adam. Lisa didn't even think about it and pushed the button on her friend's side. Friends are not as important as boyfriends. Who knows? Adam's collar is tightening. Lisa tapped the screen hard and furiously, but George let out a weird smile. It was all in his calculation. He just wanted Adam to die. At this moment, Lisa panicked. She told him that she would agree to any condition as long as Adam was released, no matter what he wanted to get. But George told him, "I already got everything." It turns out that the dream was real because of the drug hallucinations. She took George for Adam. Lisa could only watch Adam's painful death. Her heart was desperate. Not long after, George walked in. He took out his tablet and asked Lisa to kill over 200 ex-boyfriends herself. Just then, she pressed her collar button and broke the tablet. George hurriedly took out the key to open the collar around Lisa's neck and gave her an artificial respiration. Who knows? Lisa bit his lips to take advantage of the opportunity to open the chain and then knocked George down. She fled quickly with her friend. They hid in a room. George soon found Lisa and pinned her to the wall. Lisa was about to suffocate when her friend knocked George down. Immediately afterwards, they tied George up and put a collar around his neck. Lisa also picked up a Timitar, a long iron bar, and walked behind him to carry out the brutality. However, it didn't end there. Lisa picked up the iron bar and aimed it at her friend's head. She kept hating her for making her lose her boyfriend. She then took her friend's glasses and lit the experimental base to leave in style.